Hello there, Aries. We are going to do some predictions for Aries. We are switching up the whole format of videos. So instead of just doing a video every day for every single sign, right now what I'm doing is just this video is all about Aries. And this is going to be applicable for 2 weeks to possibly even out as far as a month, just depending how quickly um, you embrace or how much you reject the lesson or experience that we're going to look at here. So what we're going to look at is one life cycle, and a life cycle just sets you up to learn something or experience something, or to learn it or experience it at a deeper level than before. And then we're going to look at what happens as you incorporate that lesson or experience into your life. Okay, so this is for Aries. Hello there, Manuela. Hey, hey, how are you? This is for Aries, and this is starting for April the 15th through the 29th, maybe even longer. I've seen these things take up to a month to completely play out, okay? Or completely manifest, however you would like to word that. Let's get started putting your cards down. All right. Okay, so Aries, I'm just going to jump right in here. The first thing that I have coming up talks to me about your environment. And on these types of spreads, I typically don't show the cards because they don't read the way that they would normally read whenever I'm just doing a pull a card. So anyway, the first thing that I'm looking at about your environment, Aries, looks to me like whether this is your environment can be your home, it can be work, it can be where you go to school. It's any place where you put energy or effort. So you want to be kind of open-minded about which environment I'm seeing here. So Aries, what I am seeing is that your environment has sort of lost its sparkle, it's lost its glitter. It used to be new like a Christmas toy, and now the new has kind of worn off. And I think Aries, a lot of you are considering, okay, what would be a better environment for me? Or if you're not looking for a better environment, and remember, this could be in regards to job or home or school or any number of other places. But if you're not looking for a better environment, you may be looking at ways that you can improve the environment that you're in right now. Okay? So that's the first thing coming up for you, Aries. The second thing that I have showing is talking about your subconscious leanings. These are things that are on the back burner of your mind that every once in a while they'll pop forward to the front, but generally they're mostly on the back burner. And what I've got here for subconscious leanings for you, Aries, is there's some kind of change that you know that it would be beneficial for you to make. You know that it would be something that would make your life go smoother and more easily, but for some reason you're afraid of making this change. I think you're afraid of what all else that change might impact other than just making your life go smoothly. What's it going to do to your relationships with the people you care about? What's it going to do to your perspective on your job? You know, there are unknowns here that you're worried about, Aries, and so your subconscious is really working around this whole idea of I need to make this change, but I'm scared to. So your subconscious is trying to find some kind of resolution for that situation is what we see here. You're quite welcome, Manuela. Thank you for the thumbs up. All right, let's see. Let's look next, Aries, at two things. We're looking at learning style and also communication style, at least as it pertains to this particular life cycle. Okay, so Aries, what I'm seeing for your learning style right now is observation, observation, observation. I don't even see you asking a lot of questions here. I just see you making observations as you to pick up new information. You might be kind of hiding around the corner to make these observations, but I think a lot of you are just right in front of the person, just observing. All right, now as far as communication style, Aries, I think what's going on is whoever this is that we're looking at your communication style with in this particular spread, I think there's somebody who you do let them know how you feel and the things that you want every so often. And I kind of think that part of that is because you've noticed that they may or may not respond to what you want or what you need or what you desire. And so I think it's almost like you're floating a bubble past them. Like, okay, so today, I'm really feeling a little bit anxious or stressed out. I could use a little affection to calm me down. And you're waiting to see, what's this person going to do with that information? And depending what that person does with that information will determine how quickly you let other little bubbles of information come by this person. But I do feel like there's a certain amount of restriction in your communication with this person. You don't feel like it's necessarily good to communicate everything to them. And so you're just sending up little tidbits here and there, and you're observing, okay, how are they handling that before you give them any more information. Zuli, hello, hello. I'm changing up my video format. So this whole video is all about Aries today, okay? Next thing I'm looking at here talks to me about your work. And so Aries, I'm weird about work because I see work as that thing that you do to make a living, or if you don't do work to make a living, whatever you do to make yourself feel productive in the community. And then I also see work as those things that we do to improve our own inner character for our own self. Okay. So as far as work for you, Aries, I see a whole new beginning here. So some of you could be starting new jobs. Some of you could be just getting a promotion. Some of you could be just doing things differently and changing how things are done. But work feels new. It feels fresh for you, Aries. Now, as far as inner work, Aries, I really feel like you're evaluating your own worth. You're taking a good hard look at your own worth. And there are emotions involved in this. I think you're also looking at, what do I bring to the table as an employee? What do I bring to the table as a contractor? What do I bring to the table as a boyfriend, as a girlfriend, as a romantic partner? What do I bring to the table? What kind of worth do I have to offer the world? Okay, and so that's the inner work right now, is you're taking a good hard look at, okay, what do I actually have to offer? What am I worth? And sort of sorting out, how do you figure out what your worth is? How do you figure out worth? Do you look at your bottom line on your financial statement? Do you look at how many people you compliment in a day? Do you look at how good of a cook you are? But you're evaluating your own sense of worth here, Aries. That's your moon. Awesome. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing, Mary? Are you just getting off of work? This whole video is all about you. Well, all about all the Aries, but you know what I mean. Okay, so the next card that we have coming up talks to me about that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday. I didn't realize. Or did I? Did I write on your Facebook? Gotta watch me. My memory is like blech right now. Anyway, happy birthday. Okay, so next we're looking at that part of your personality that's being grown or expanded right now, Aries. And what we have coming up here is really something that talks about that you've invested in something, whether you invested emotionally or financially or energetically. There's something that you have invested in, Aries, with the idea that when you invest in it, that there would be a return that comes back to you later. Okay. And so what's going on is right now that return is not ready to come back. It's not that it's not coming back, but it's just not ready now. So there's some amount of patience that is required as you wait for this return to come back for whatever it is that you invested in something already. 29 again. Well, dang it, you're younger than me. All right, let's see. Next up, what we're looking at is those things that you stand for, Aries. Actually, this kind of isn't a surprise here. What I'm seeing is that those things that you stand for. So this is a card that's influenced by Mars. This is something that you would stand for quite energetically, given the proper conditions. And it looks to me like, you like to do things with your own twist. You like to do things in unique and original ways. You don't really go for doing something just because everybody has done it this way for the past 30 years or 130 years or 1,030 years. Doesn't really matter. You want to do things in a way that makes sense to you for today. And so I think that probably in the very recent past or the very soon to be future, somebody has said to you, hey, how come you can't just go with the flow and be like everybody else and be normal? And you've, told them, hey, because I can't, because it doesn't make sense to me, because I'm not gonna, because I don't want to. How come you can't go with the flow and think outside the box? Step off the curb, Jack. Okay? Next. What we have is how other people perceive you right now, Aries. This is interesting. So, and I got to tell you, this is the card that I get the most slack on, or the most flack on, because we don't always perceive ourselves the same way other people do. So just realize that this may not be how you see yourself. It's just looking at how somebody else sees you. Okay, so there is somebody out there who sees you as someone who doesn't necessarily pay attention to the budget in one way or another. They may feel like you don't go to work really regularly or do whatever it takes to bring that income in. Or if that's not what they're thinking, then they're thinking, well, this person does a lot of impulse spending. Maybe they do emotional shopping. But basically, they see you as somebody who is not able to keep a budget running on track. All right? Now, la da 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 da, all that stuff actually is present tense there, Aries, so you should recognize most of that. Next, we're going to get into parts that may or may not be present. They might be in the future. So let's take a peek. Lesson or experience of this particular life cycle, what you're actually going through all of this for, to learn or to experience. What we actually have is that there's a situation that was in your past that you had walked away from because it had left you feeling depleted. Normally, this is an employment situation. Sometimes it's a relationship situation, and it could be something else as well. We don't want to close the door on that. But something was making you feel depleted, and you have walked away from that in the past. Lesson or experience here is that you're going back to that thing that used to make you feel depleted. So hopefully, you've got reasons to expect that this will work out better this time. Now, as you're going back into this old situation that made you feel depleted before, you've got some things going on. First of all, you are dealing with somebody who is toxic, or a toxic situation in general, but at least one person who is very much toxic. I feel like this person can be very deceptive and very manipulative. This is somebody who likes to manipulate the facts and manipulate the truth to get people to do what it is that they want those people to do for them. So this is something that you are dealing with as you come back to your situation, whether it's employment, relationship, or whatever. Because of this manipulation and dishonesty that's going on, this really causes you to think long and hard about what it is that you really want. And it puts you in a situation where you are making a decision. And when you're making this decision, Aries, what I see coming out of this is that you are deciding that what you want to focus on is your happiness. And so you are leaning towards that. Now, for some of you, Aries, focusing on your happiness means continuing this relationship, but not focusing on the negative or the toxic parts of it. And for others of you, this is going to mean making a decision to get away from this toxicity and get it out of your life so that you can move on and be happy. Okay? And it's a general reading, so I can't tell you which view is what, but I'm feeling like we've got quite a number that decide to stay in this relationship, but just make some changes so that they can be happy. And then we've also got maybe a 25% spread that just want away from the toxicity and are moving away from it. Okay. The best way to find out which one you are, of course, is to get a private reading, which I do offer. And those are on my website down below. But I do offer live readings, 30 minutes for $100, 45 minutes for $150, or 60 minutes for $100 if you're interested. And then also, if you just have only 1 or 2 questions and you know that's all you have, you may want to check out the 1 or 2 question readings. Those are $30 for 1 question and $53 for 2 questions. You know someone like that, Manuela? Because of Easter? So you have to go back to him because of Easter. Gotcha, Zuli. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here and for keeping me on my toes and fresh. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Everyone have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you guys the next time. Peace out.